Hello and welcome. Today we will discuss 5 ways to elevate your marketing strategy with Oracle Unity and CDP and Eloqua. Before we begin, just a few reminders. Today's presentation is being recorded and a replay will be available tomorrow. If you have questions, click the Q&A option at the bottom of your screen. We'll do our very best to answer as many questions as possible during the presentation, and we have several experts monitoring your questions and we'll answer them at the same time. There will also be time at the end for additional questions. And with that, let me introduce today's presenters. Mandy Tsui is Senior Manager of Product Management at Oracle, overseeing their customer data platform, Oracle Unity. With extensive experience in software product management, she specializes in customer data, master data management, and marketing software. Mandy has presented at notable Oracle conferences and is passionate about leveraging Oracle CDP to enhance marketing strategies. Mark Lavelle is an industry veteran with over 25 years of experience in Silicon Valley and has founded 2 successful CRM startups. He is a visionary leader who has been at the forefront of marketing and sales technology for over 20 years. He has been CEO of Forethought Marketing since 2008. And with that, I'll turn the time over to Mark.
Thank you, Richard. So I hate to admit it, but I've been working with corporate systems for about 4 decades. I go back to even before the launch of the IBM PC to inventory control systems like Ask Man on the HP 3000, which was a mini computer that for $250,000 would theoretically run your whole company. Today, your iPhone can run circles around it. Amazingly, the problem of silos of data has been ever present over my entire career. In response, about 12, 15 years ago, to the continuing growing complexity in dealing with customers stored across all these systems and all these silos, CDPs came into existence. Today, customer information is scattered across different systems like CRM, Eloqua, Marketo, analytics platforms, customer service databases, e-commerce systems, social media, event management systems. This fragmentation makes it challenging to work with, to segment, to report on, and understand in totality your customers. This leads to inconsistent and even conflicting communications and a poor understanding for you and your teammates, your coworkers, of customer behavior. CDP addresses these challenges. It aggregates, organizes, dedupes, and unifies customer data from multiple sources into a single accessible user customer list. This is a big shift in how businesses interact with and understand their customers. It paves the way for a more personalized and effective marketing approach. In addition, CDPs often enable a much more real-time understanding of what's happening. And as we all know, laws are being passed in country after country and here in the USA, state after state, requiring companies to consider and respect customer privacy. This is incredibly challenging without an ability to link, correlate, and coordinate all of your customer systems. Finally, a subject that is definitely top of mind right now, CDPs, when augmented by AI, or perhaps I should say an AI, when prompted with the data of a CDP, can result in insights and understandings that can level up your organization's ability to really engage your customers in a way that they appreciate and that works. Today, we're going to talk about a specific CDP, that of Oracle Unity. And with that, I'd like to introduce Mandy. Mandy, take her away.
Thank you, Mark. Hi, everyone. It's great to be with all of you here today. I understand that many of you are already Oracle Eloqua customers today, which is great because that means that you have the world-class marketing automation tool already available to you. And on the screen here, we see a quote from the Director of Demand Generation at Dow Jones, who says that Oracle Eloqua is the magic linchpin for all of our B2B marketing efforts. So with Eloqua today, you could already be able to track real-time buyer behavior and signals for your marketing campaigns and be able to gain buyer insight. Eloqua enables you to be able to orchestrate, design, and activate an effective marketing campaign. It also provides you the ability to do advanced lead management capabilities today already, so that you could drive higher conversion. And with the intelligence and AI that's available in Eloqua to help you with your marketing campaigns, you could be able to score your leads to make sure that you have accurate and high quality leads that you deliver over to sales in near real time. So all of these things are already what you already have today for those of you that are Eloqua customers. But what if you could continue to build on top of those capabilities and accelerate your marketing strategy by having a robust data management platform? A data management platform that could help you bring in all of your customer and account data across your organization into a master view of a customer and account, so that you could gain deeper insight into the accounts. And on top of that, you have built-in AI ML intelligence that you can apply on top of this comprehensive set of customer data, so that you can now deliver a personalized and consistent experience to your customers across your organization and across different channels. So you ask, how can I do that? How can I get there? Well, let's talk a little bit about this first. So we have, you have Eloqua, and using Eloqua plus Oracle Unity CDP, which is our customer data platform, you could actually achieve this. And we'll talk a bit about how we could do this within the webinar today. So Oracle's customer data platform, Unity, sits at the center of our CX stack. What Unity does is that it helps unify all the data across marketing, sales, services, advertising, and beyond, so that you could have that unified view of your account and customer and be able to deliver a real-time, unique and personalized experience for them. So before we actually go into more information about Unity and how Eloqua Unity could help you elevate your marketing strategy, let's do a quick knowledge check right now to see our audience right here. What is your understanding of a customer data platform at this time? So we have the poll that Richard has put for us on screen. Please go ahead and fill that out. I do see some results already coming in. This is great. So we'll give it another couple of seconds for people to respond. Yeah, no, good. I've seen results coming in. It's good. Give it another second or two. So please put in your response in the last few seconds so we can make sure that we capture that. All right, I think we're good here. Let's take a look and see what the final results look like. So we have about 33% of our audience that have limited understanding of a CDP. And then like 8% with no understanding, 8% that are experts, and then some that are in between. So that looks like a good kind of combination of all different
bell curve.
What was that, Mark?
I said it's a classic bell curve. Who knew?
Yeah, that is a good point. Perfect, great. Well, thank you all for your response. So now we have a better understanding of where people kind of stand on knowing what a CDP is. So we could go ahead and move on to talking a little bit more about the CDP. So I'll give you an overview of the Oracle Unity CDP and then walk you through some capabilities that we have. So at the center of this picture here, we have the customer. The customer engages with you across your organization, across different channels, different touch points. And often this customer journey is nonlinear. And these engagement from the customer with your organization is being captured in different parts of your organizations, in different teams, in different systems. So it might be difficult to actually really see an overall view of that customer and how they're engaging with you. For Oracle CDP, we have 3 core functions. One is to help you be able to understand each individual one of your accounts and customers by bringing in the customer data across your organization and unifying that into a master account and customer view. Once you have that unified profile view, Unity has the built-in intelligence to help you predict what the customer needs next, so that you can make real-time intelligent decisioning to predict and orchestrate the next best experience for your customer. Once you have that, Unity enables you to deliver the experience in real time across different channels with a consistent and personalized experience for your customer across those channels. Let's dive a little bit more deeper into how Unity helps you do this. Unity enables you to be able to collect customer data in real time, for example, streaming through your website as people are interacting with you on your website, or maybe through mobile apps. It enables you to bring in any offline data as well. You could bring in CRM, sales data, marketing data from Eloqua, which we have a native integration with. Also, services data or any front office and back office data. So you could bring all that data in. We help you cleanse it, deduplicate it, and then promote that to a master view of an account and customer. Once you have this 360-degree view of that account and customer, we have built-in intelligence out-of-the-box AI ML models that could actually help you determine and predict what is the next best action, for example, for the customer. What's the next best offer or channel and time to reach out to them? And as we have these integrated customer data, we can help you easily be able to orchestrate a consistent and personalized experience for your customers across different channels. So when your customer engages with you through your marketing campaign in Eloqua, then they will have that personalized experience and consistent with if they were to engage with you on their website or through advertising or your sales channel or your services channel and beyond. Let us dive a little bit deeper into some of the core capabilities that Oracle Unity provides to help you drive a customer-centric experience. We've spoken quite a lot about that unified customer profile and account profile. We enable you to be able to bring in your customers' data across your organization into this unified profile, so you have that true understanding of the account and customer. We focus on enabling you to bring in both front office and back office data, so that, for example, if you wanted to leverage the back office data to understand what type of inventory that you have, to make sure you have enough inventory for a marketing campaign that you're going to run, then that data is readily available to you within that one location. We have industry-specific data models across B2B and B2C that helps you be able to easily get on the ground and running as soon as you have Unity. It's also extendable in the fact that if there's any specific business-specific needs you have, you can extend that data model to meet those needs. And of course, we understand that enterprises have large volume of data, and many of our customers do have that. So we are able to help you process the data at an enterprise level scale. With all of this data in one location, it's super important, we know, to be able to comply with privacy and security policies and to have data governance. So we provide many capabilities to help you do that. For example, we have ability for you to segregate the access to your data so that, let's say if you have a marketing team that sits within North America and should only have access to the North America customer data, you could restrict that access. We also have ability for you to mask and hash data and bring in all of your consent data that customer has provided you across the organization into one single location, so that it will help you be able to make sure that you are in compliance with that consent. And of course, we provide you with a world-class segmentation capabilities. It's a self-service capability where your marketers, your business users can actually go in and self-service to create a granular segment based off of this comprehensive customer attributes and account attributes data that you have. So there's no need for a technical person to go in and create a segment for your business users. The business users could actually do it themselves. We have built-in native AI ML capabilities, over 17 plus out-of-the-box AI ML models that's readily available for you to use within the platform and be able to apply to this comprehensive set of account and customer data. If you have internal data science teams that's already built your own models, we also have the flexibility for you to bring that model into Unity and apply it to the unified account and customer data. And we have seamless integrations across all the different channels. Of course, we have a native integration with Eloqua, where you could easily deliver your audience over to Eloqua to execute on an effective marketing campaign. Beyond that, we can help you deliver your audience to sales, services, advertising, and beyond, so that you could easily orchestrate that consistent and personalized experience for your customer. Last but not least, we have a journey orchestration capability where you could easily set up a unique and personalized journey for your customers so that when they're engaging on your website or through any other channels, that their experience is consistent and also personalized to what they need. We've spoken quite a lot about Oracle Unity. I want to now summarize a bit about like how Unity and Eloqua together can make things better for you. And we'll also go into a few ways to help you elevate your marketing strategy with Eloqua and Unity. So Unity helps you truly understand your customer by having that 360-degree view of how that customer and account is engaging across your company, along with any additional like third-party or second-party data, all in one location. So you get that master view of your account and customer. We have that built-in AI ML capability, which you could apply on top of this holistic view of your customer so that you could better predict what is the next best experience for them. And with all this information that we have for your customer, you could easily activate this within Eloqua. Eloqua helps you be able to easily design and activate an effective marketing campaign to reach these customers with a unique and personalized experience, message, and content. In this next section, we will cover 5 different ways that can help you elevate your marketing strategy. And these are tried and true ways that our existing customers have leveraged Unity and Eloqua to achieve. So you will also see results that customers have seen and benefits that they've seen as we go through each of these marketing strategies. The first one is to advanced segmentation for refined targeting. This particular strategy was leveraged by one of our leading banks that is an existing customer. The challenge that this bank was having was that all of the customer data was siloed across organizations. So their marketers weren't able to get an overall view of the customer and understand how they were engaging with their organization. On top of that, they didn't have a complete set of customer data where they could apply intelligence on top of that to help them determine how to reach out to the customers, what's the best message to deliver to them. So those were some of the key challenges they experienced. They chose to leverage Unity and Eloqua to help them solve these problems. They were able to bring in their customer data across the organization, unify that into a master view, so that they could actually create segments off of the complete set of customer attributes that they had. So they were able to create those segments. They were able to leverage the next best action AI/ML model that we had in Unity, apply it to this data, so they could determine what is the next best action for each of these customers. They delivered these segments seamlessly over to Eloqua so that they could actually orchestrate a targeted and personalized marketing campaign. And the results that they saw were pretty amazing. They saw a 24 times faster performance in building their segments. Because they were able to automate this process and have all this customer data in one location, they were able to reduce the manual effort and the time it took them to build a segment. On top of that, they were able to see a 4 times faster way to generate the next best action because they had that out-of-the-box model readily available within Unity and was able to apply it to this customer data that's already sitting in the same location. So they saw some great results where they could now deliver a improved segmentation and a personalized experience for their customers. On the lower bottom side here on the slide, you'll see some additional statistics. We commissioned Forrester to help us do a TEI, like a economic impact report, where they interviewed several of our customers to see how well they, the type of benefits they actually got from Unity. So on this particular slide, you see that the customer also gained some benefits and click-through rates. But we'll talk a little bit more about this when we get to the slide on the report itself. There is the second way to elevate your marketing strategy is to help you gain a 360-degree view of your customer and your account. In this particular case, one of our telco brands, one of our largest customers, they were having challenges where they also had their customer data, which is siloed across their organization. So they were only able to see a partial view of the customers and was having difficulties determining how to communicate with the customers and what is the next best way to reach out to them. In this case, they actually had like 23 disparate different data silos where they have first-party data as well as third-party intent data. With Unity, they were able to bring all of this data together into one location, all 23 sources, to gain that overall view of the account. So they're a B2B business, so the account was very important to them. They had a large volume of data sets that they had to bring in. So they were able to leverage our enterprise-grade scale and performance to help them process that data very quickly. They leveraged our out-of-the-box B2B industry-specific data model. That means that they could actually, as soon as they got Unity, they were able to hit the ground and run and leverage the out-of-the-box data model and gain the benefit that they wanted to see as quickly as possible. So today, now in Unity, they actually have evergreen campaigns that are running. They were able to create the customer segments for their leads and schedule automated delivery over to Eloqua and have an Eloqua campaign that consistently reaches out to those customers with a personalized message. They also delivered these over to sales, which are ready for sales to call them or reach out to them. The results they saw were also really amazing. They saw a 20% lift in performance on their greenfield opportunities. They said that they had opportunities which they didn't even recognize in the past because their customer data was so siloed. But now they're able to actually see those opportunities and capitalize on that. They were also able to reduce their time to actually create a segment and process that from weeks to the same day. So in the past, they had to do a bunch of manual work to get that segment together, which took weeks. And now it's all automated. So they could truly be able to reach their customers in their buying moments and not miss out on the opportunity. This customer was able to see a $4.3 million $4.3 million benefit through the deduplicate of the data, as well as being able to create unique profiles. The third way to help you elevate your marketing strategy is to improve lead scoring and nurturing. This particular case study and marketing strategy was used by Mazda. So Mazda was struggling with truly understanding how their customers were engaging with them across the different channels. What they wanted to do was to be able to deliver a seamless and personalized experience as the customers were engaging with them through the digital experience. But they were actually seeing low conversion rates and missed opportunities because they were unable to accurately identify and prioritize their leads. So they chose to leverage Unity and Eloqua to help them achieve this. They were able to bring in all their customer data into Unity, so they have that full understanding of the customer and understand where they're engaging with them. Then they applied the AI ML model on top of that so that they could actually score their leads and identify the high value leads. Once they identify the high value leads, they deliver them over to Eloqua to orchestrate a campaign that could reach those customers with personalized content and at the right time where they know that the customer will engage with them. They saw some amazing results here. They saw a 230% increase in the lead submissions. And from there, they saw a 5% increase in the order uptake. And some unquantifiable type benefits they saw was that they were gaining efficiency and also able to improve on their operational costs because they were able to automate a lot of this process instead of having to do the manual work. The fourth way to help you elevate your marketing strategy is to deliver a consistent omni-channel experience. So this particular marketing strategy was used by Oracle, our own company. So Oracle, like any other enterprise level companies, have our own challenges, probably similar to many other companies. What Oracle was facing is that it was really time consuming and it was taking a lot of time from different teams and coordinations to be able to actually manually put together the process to nurture and target the customer and accounts across multiple different channels. And even with all of this effort and time that was put in, unfortunately, we were still seeing inconsistent and irrelevant offers that were being delivered to customers. So we chose to use our own products to help us solve the problem. Oracle was able to bring in all of our account and customer data into Unity and unify that into the master account and customer view. Oracle used the seamless integrations that Unity provides to other tools, such as the native integration that we have with Eloqua and many other tools, to quickly be able to segment and then deliver this audience over to Eloqua to orchestrate a marketing campaign. But on top of that, being able to actually deliver the same audience over to sales and services and other channels so that we could actually orchestrate a consistent and personalized experience for the customer. And we saw some really good results. One of the things is that from the time that we identified that was a prospect that was interested in our product to the time of conversion and to the opportunity, the time was reduced from days to minutes so that we could actually capitalize on more of a real-time engagement with our leads. We saw a 33% increase in the opportunity size and also a 10% increase in opportunities overall, which was great. Our team was able to automate about 70% of this whole marketing transaction, which was a lot of improvement for the team. So we saw a faster campaign execution, which reduced the lead time from weeks to days. And there were also like behind the scenes things that like our team was actually doing, like in the previous like systems and stuff, the team had to do some manual hands-on tuning and scaling in the platform. But with Unity, which sits on our autonomous database, we do automatic scaling and tuning to the application. So now like our team could be hands-off and doesn't have to do that work manually. Last but not least, the fifth way that we would like to share with you to elevate your marketing strategy is to reduce churn and increase cross-sell and upsell. This particular strategy was leveraged by Ferrari. So Ferrari wanted to be able to be effective on their new car service upsells and also be able to have customers warranties that were expiring for them to renew. And the third thing was to be able to engage the customers when there was a change in ownership on their cars. But it was very difficult for them to get ahead of these things because they were actually doing a lot of the work offline. They were trying to understand the customer behavior, the upsell opportunities, and the churn offline. So it was really difficult for them to predict what the customer really needed ahead of time. They chose to use Oracle Unity and Eloqua together. They brought in the customer data across the organization into Unity to gain that 360-degree view of the customer. And then they applied intelligence on top of that. They were able to use our models to actually predict the propensity for a customer to buy, the likelihood that they might churn, and identify these different set of audiences. Further on, they leveraged our next best action and offer models, as well as understanding the best time and channel to reach these customers, and apply that on top of that set of audience. They were now able to actually deliver these next best action and offers over to their dealerships, so that the dealerships could actually get in front of reaching out to these customers and be able to offer them the next best offer for each individual one of the customers. They saw a 29% increase in their revenue by doing this, and a 39% callback from their customers. So they saw some really good results leveraging Unity and Eloqua. So as a summary, we've gone through 5 different ways to help you elevate your marketing strategies. That's on the slide right here. We'll move on to summarizing why customers choose Oracle Unity CDP. So safety, security, and scalability is something that's truly important to all of our customers, we understand. And Unity is built on top of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, which also means that all your customer data sits within Oracle. We're not moving your data around to another cloud platform. It all sits within Oracle. We help you be able to connect both your front office and back office data across B2B and B2C. We do notice that many of the CDPs out there actually focus more on front office data, but we believe that front office and back office data and the full understanding of the customer here is truly important. So we focus on both. We have industry-specific data models that we have out of the box for you across B2B and B2C, which means that as soon as you have the CDP, you could quickly get on the ground and running, start to do your implementation, and it saves you time. And you'll start to realize your benefit even more quicker. Our AI ML capabilities are baked into our solution. It is native to Unity. It is not an add-on. We do see out there that many CDPs have AI ML capabilities that are add-ons and have additional costs. But for us, it's already native to our platform. We've spoken quite a lot about mastering accounts and customer profiles, but Unity has a flexibility to help you master and gain that overall view of almost any entity. For example, if you wanted to master households or products, or anything that's specific for your business itself, like vehicles, assets, etc., we have the ability to help you do that too. Last but not least, we have the capability to help you easily orchestrate a customer journey. So you could actually build in like a real-time experience and personalized experience for your customer as they're on your website or any different channels. So we've spoken quite a lot about the overview of Unity, how it can help you, how Eloqua and Unity can help you elevate your marketing strategy. But let's now take a look at what external analysts are saying about our product, Unity. The first report here is the IDC Market Space report. And this was focused on a worldwide CDP for data and marketing operations users. As you can see on this graph, Oracle stands out as a leader in this space. In the actual report, which you could always feel free to read up on later, there's many challenges that the report says that Unity can help you solve. And we've covered many of them in this actual webinar already. So I won't go into too much detail on that. But a key thing that they did say is that Oracle is the most complete solution. And it could actually support customers globally. And we have a robust compliance feature in helping customers be able to meet industry regulations and effectively. So we know that this is super important for all of our customers. The next report is also an IDC Market Space report, but it was focused on the financial services industry. In this report, there's a couple of key use cases that they said Unity is good to help customers solve. And we've walked through a lot of different case studies and marketing strategies. So I won't go into too much detail here, but you can always feel free to read up on this later. Some key things that they said is that Unity has a strength for the financial services industry because we do have an extension for the data model for financial services industry. And we have all the out-of-the-box AI/ML capabilities. We can also help you in compliance and consent management. The last report I would like to share here is our total economic impact report. This was a report that was commissioned by Oracle to Forrester, where Forrester interviewed several of our customers to understand what kind of business benefits they have gained over the last 3 years. And this report came out this year in March. Our customers said that one of the customers said they saw 158% return on their investment. And this was about $6.71 million in investment. So that sounds pretty great. Another customer saw their investment pay back in 7 months. And this was not only for the actual cost of the product, but it's also for the implementation costs and onboarding costs. They got that all back within 7 months. There are also several unquantifiable benefits that was in this report. Many of them we have actually covered in the webinar, but some examples include that they saw like an improved experience or better engagement or quicker turnaround time. So these were some great benefits that our actual customers have seen by using Unity. Now I will hand this over to Mark for some closing comments.
Thank you, Mandy. That was an excellent presentation. So I think Mandy's given us some interesting insights. One way that I like to think about CDPs boils down to 2 words. What's next? If customer 1 tried to buy your most expensive product yesterday, what's next is going to be entirely different than if they called this morning about a support issue or logged in a week ago on an e-commerce purchase. With a CDP, you bring the power of a consistent what's next across all the silos and systems of your organization. And one thing I'll add is that a key part of bringing a CDP up, getting that 7-month ROI and 158% return that Mandy just spoke about, is planning and executing the implementation, defining upfront what problems we'll solve in phase 1, figuring out and helping you sell internally what the resulting ROI will be in your situation, for your issues, for your organization. And this is what Forethought Marketing brings to the party. We make Unity implementations happen. From the setup of one of those 17 models Mandy mentioned, the integration to Eloqua, the training, the processes, we make all that happen to take your CDP from installation through to provable return, through to ROI. So now I'm going to turn over in just a second things to Richard and the panel for questions. But before I do, I'd like to point out the obvious. There are 3 more sources for good information on Unity right on screen. You can click on or choose a QR code to make that happen. Also, if you'd like to email any of the 3 of us, I'm of course the guy at the bottom, would love to take any of your questions. Our emails are available there. And with that, Richard, I would like to let you open it up to questions and answers.
All right. Well, thank you, Mark and Mandy. It's now time for our Q&A portion. So let me just look at the list here. So our first question comes from Thomas. And I think you touched a little bit on this during the presentation, but he asked, are there best practices available for integrating Eloqua with Unity?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you for that question, Thomas. So yeah, I have touched up on that a bit earlier, like Richard mentioned. We have native integrations between Unity and Eloqua. So it's very quick for you to be able to set up the integration between Unity and Eloqua, where you can actually deliver your audience from Unity into Eloqua and have an automated process that continues to send over the audience to feed into your marketing campaigns. We also have the integration, which is also native, quick to set up. Once your campaigns have run in Eloqua, you could easily bring that data back into Unity. And there are reports and insights that you can actually gain within Unity to understand how well those campaigns have performed. even ability to actually compare like different campaigns and how the audience within each have performed. Yeah, so we do have some like native integrations there because it's both Oracle products, so they're very seamless.
Great, thank you. Our next question comes from Kevin. Kevin asks, for marketing, customer is often a person, but for sales, it is often an account. How does a CDP help with that? Is CRM still the #1 source of truth, or is it a different architecture?
Yeah, so I would say CRM is always going to be the source of truth for your sales accounts, just like Eloqua will be your source of truth for your marketing data, right? CDP is not meant to actually take over a source of truth. CDP is meant to actually bring in your customer data from those source of truth and help you be able to deduplicate it and unify it into one overall 360-degree view of your account and customer. So I just kind of wanted to clarify that piece first. And then around the question on accounts within your CRM. So Unity also has like the concept of accounts, right? And contacts, which is the individual that works for those accounts. So when we actually look at, for example, delivering like our account or contacts over to the sales team, maybe to CRM, it depends on if the business, I would say most of the time what I see with B2B businesses is that they will actually deliver the account over to the to CRM for their sales team to follow up on. Sometimes they may also say that, hey, here are the contacts within these accounts that are going to be more likely to convert. So we can interact with the CRM applications on an account or on a contact basis.
Something I'll add to that, Mandy, sort of elaborate a little bit, is we're seeing something in the industry too. You know, we started off in the industry, I think, with as the question asker, as Kevin mentioned, with marketing focusing on individual contacts and sales often focusing on accounts. We've had a shift in the industry a little bit over the last few years to what's called account-based marketing. But there's something else happening now between contacts and between account-based marketing that we're working on with some of our customers, both in CDPs and in Eloqua. And that's what's called qualified buying groups. And a QBG, or qualified buying group, is a subset that accurately targets the people who should be interested within an account. It's sort of like the three bears, you know, a contact is too small, an account is too big, a qualified buying group is just right. And by working with and focusing on qualified buying groups, you enable marketing and sales to align, because they're both now marketing and selling to the same folks. And so that's something we're seeing enabled by CDP and Unity.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point, Mark. Thank you for bringing that up and adding that. Yeah, because Unity does also support the ability to actually track the buying groups for each of the opportunities and the accounts. So yeah, thank you for adding to that. Mm-hmm.
All right. Our next question comes from John. And John asks, what's the difference between a CDP, a CDM, or an EDM?
Yeah, so I'll take a stab at that first. Feel free, anyone, if you wanted to add on. So a EDM, which is the enterprise data management, in case anyone doesn't know that, CDM, customer data management. I would think about these two products as products that work together with the CDP, and to help elevate that experience for the customer even more. So EDM and CDM provide data quality, consistency, and governance. EDM covers more like organization-wide data, whereas CDM is more customer data. But the point of this is that both of them help support CDP in having it more accurate and more comprehensive unified customer or account profile. So I definitely see them working together to help deliver a more unique and personalized experience for the customer to elevate it to the next level.
All right, and we have one final question. And I don't have a name on this one. It says, how will AI and machine learning enhance the customer experience through a CDP?
Oh boy.
Yeah, Mark, would you like, I'm happy to take a first stab, or if you wanted to.
Go ahead, Mandy.
Okay.
It's a can of worms.
All right. So I've spoken quite a lot about AI, ML, and intelligence that's already built into Unity today. But we also have like Gen AI. I know that's at the top of many people's minds. So I would say one thing is that with Unity, the great thing is that because you have that comprehensive set of data in one location, and you have that 360-degree view of the account and the customer. So when you take AI that's pre-built into Unity and apply on top of that comprehensive set of customer data, you will actually get better results. So I've spoken about like our ability to actually help customers determine their next best action offers, the best channel, the best accounts or contacts to reach out to. With Gen AI, we're also looking at in the future, leveraging that to help enhance the CDP user's experience. I don't have any specific kind of commitments or roadmap items to share. However, I could share some ideas on what we're looking at. So we're looking at leveraging, potentially leveraging Gen AI to help marketers and business users be able to discover like the best segment or the best audience for their actually marketing campaign, or for them to reach out to in different channels. So with Gen AI helping them with that, it will reduce their need to actually try to figure out which segment or audience might be the best for each of their use cases. Some additional things might be to look at recommending like the best like title for their marketing campaign. So those are some examples of how we think that AI could help elevate customers' experience with the CDP. I'm not sure if Mark, anyone else, you have anything else to add on to? Feel free to jump in if you have.
If we have another half an hour, no, I do think that the basics of AI are that it can only work with what it knows, and AI is already being used to quote unquote personalize emails and communications to customers based on what it pulls from their social media profiles. But that is a certain type of information that is not the type of information that you want to make the decision, an intelligent decision on what's next for the customer. So being able to use AI to figure out what's next based on a centralized CDP, I think is going to be huge. And I can see here we have a mention in the chat. Rob Tarkoff, I've heard him speak a couple times. He's good. The EVP of Oracle is doing a webinar on how generative AI will change customer experiences forever. So he and I are obviously thinking along the same lines.
Perfect. I like that word, forever.
Richard, anything else?
That are all the questions. Thank you so much, Mark and Mandy, again. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. As a reminder, tomorrow you'll receive an email with a link to a recording to today's webinar. And as we close here, you'll be invited to take a short survey. This 5-question survey will help us understand how we did well here and how we can improve. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Good day.
Thanks all.
Thank you.